लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Not much of a verse by verse summary for chapter 10 is possible. I think we have seen it. We have seen this. The glories of the Lord. We saw a few things. We can just summarize it, if not chapter by chapter, by saying that the chapter 10 fulfills many purposes. What are the purposes it fulfills? First of all, the glories of the Lord are enumerated, and in the process of enumerating the glories of the Lord as the whole Jagat, it serves to erase the alienation between the Jiva and Ishvara. So first of all, the person who worships thinks of Ishvara as far, far away. But then it's not far, far away. Your own body is Bhagavan. Your mind is Bhagavan. Buddhihi jnanaha asammohaha kshama satyam damashamaha. All this we saw. It starts, the glories of the Lord starts with your own mind, with your own buddhi, with your own body. We saw that. And then from there, it extends to the rest of the Jagat. Your mind, body, complex is itself part of the Jagat. We saw that also. So from here it extends to the entire Jagat, and the whole Jagat is glorified as non-separate from Ishvara. So out of the three things, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Ishvara and Jagat are now conflated. Jagat is Ishvara, Jagat is non-separate from Ishvara. So now what is left? Miserable Jiva. And the distance between Jiva and Ishvara. That is all that is left. So the first thing that it does is that it Ishvarizes the Jagat, the 10th chapter. And the second thing it does is that in the process of Ishvarizing the Jagat, what does it do? It introduces one to Aneka Rupa Bhakti. Aneka Rupa Ishvaraha, and directed the bhakti directed towards Aneka Rupa Ishvaraha is Aneka Rupa Bhakti. So the bhakti which was first directed only to one particular form of God, I couldn't think of God in any other way. Only Jesus is God, only Krishna is God, only Rama is God, only the Durga is God. From there, one has blossomed, matured emotionally and spiritually to look upon the whole Jagat as Ishvara, Aneka Rupa. So from one to all forms are Ishvara's forms. This is a great thing. Otherwise you are confined only to one temple. That is the only place where God lives. God also has address. God also has address. God also has, door number. God also gets postage, and God gets emails located at this particular place, and this whatever. So this is okay to begin with. Somewhere one has to begin to focus the mind, but one has to grow to embrace the entire Jagat as Ishvara. The third thing that the 10th chapter has accomplished for us is to let go of our jealousy. That separates us from Jiva. Jiva Yoho Bheda is there. There is Bheda between Jiva and another Jiva. As as long as you are the only one in some place, you are okay. Introduce 4 or 5 people and suddenly the insecurity comes. So jealousy is nothing but insecurity and helplessness. So one doesn't have to feel bad if one is having envy or jealousy. It's just the other side of insecurity and helplessness. So what is the helplessness here? The helplessness is that I can't do anything about this. Oh my God, there are 4 or 5 people more qualified than me. What will happen to me? OMG. And sometimes it's very, very subtle. Some person comes and suddenly they tick you off. For no reason they tick you off. And you are wondering why. They seem to be a nice person and they are very friendly with me too, but why are they ticking me off? You wonder. And then after a while, if one is introspective, one understands that that person appears to bring out the worst in me. Why will they bring out the worst in me? They will bring out the worst in me because they will bring out that part which is vulnerable and insecure, meaning one feels threatened. And when one feels threatened by something else or somebody else, then one is more vulnerable, more insecure. Now, the 10th chapter, what happens? You trace all the good things, all the powerful things, the best things in life are traced to who? Ishvara, Bhagavan. And so therefore, like I said yesterday, it is not easy to feel jealous of Bhagavan. Why? Jealousy is between like and like, similarity. There should be similarity. And then here there is dissimilarity. And so therefore, one can see, especially if one is growing to become a bhakta, one is cultivating bhakti, then one can see what? One can see oneself as one who sees the good in everybody. Why? Because whatever wonderful thing that is praiseworthy, that is in you, doesn't belong to you, I can tell myself. Who does it belong to? Ishvara. So therefore I see the glory of Ishvara in every good quality that anybody might have, so I don't any longer feel threatened. So this is in sum, this enumeration of glories does these 3 things for us. So these 3 things are accomplished for us. And then what happens? Arjuna's heart is not at peace. Why? Because, this is the same sunrise you see every day, that's the same moonrise, this is the same sunset, this is the same river, these are the same mountains. But I want to see Bhagavan. I want to see Bhagavan. Where are you, oh Bhagavan? Show your face. In fact, show your faces. Show me the whole of you. I'm greedy. And he doesn't feel bad about feeling greedy, because this is something wonderful about Arjuna. As I said, he is very innocent. There is no artifice about him. Anybody else would have said, okay, I just begged all these things in the 10th chapter, I better shut up now and not ask for anything more. I have asked for too many things in the first 10 chapters, let me just sit and listen. Not Arjuna. He just has this, the desire to see Bhagavan is part of everyone's spiritual growth, and there is a spiritual romanticism. I want to have darshan of Bhagavan. What will it be like if Bhagavan came and stood right here in the classroom? What will happen? What will happen is, I will tell Bhagavan to take the class. That's what I will do. Here you are, please continue. That's what I would do. But so this is what it is. What will happen if Bhagavan came? When I was sitting down and when I am there, if Bhagavan comes, how will I feel? Even in a dream, darshan de do. This is a very nice song. I think it was an old film song, I'm not sure. Darshan do ghanashyam nath more, akhiya pyasi re. My eyes are thirsty. Since when did the eyes need a drink of water? No, but my eyes are very thirsty. For what? For your darshan. My eyes are thirsty for your darshan. And they say, Mandira Surat Teri. They say you live in every temple. Mandira Murat Teri. They say that your image is in every temple. Phir bhi na dikhe Surat Teri. But I'm not satisfied. I don't see your face. Aakh micholi chodo abhitum. Stop playing hide and seek with me. Show me your face. And I have also heard that with your grace, the lame person scales a mountain. The blind person starts to see. And the mute person becomes a great orator. Who is this force behind all these miracles? Show me your face. So there is this yearning, the desire to see Bhagavan is there in everybody, whether we acknowledge it or not. It is a raga, all right. It is a sattvika raga. It is a raga that, because I don't feel like I can be Bhagavan, I want to see Bhagavan. It is a sattvika raga. It is a raga of a sattvic nature. And so our fellow, what's his name? Arjuna also has it. He also has it. So the 11th chapter opens with our fellow asking a question. We are not going to read all this. I will read some selected, we'll chant some selected verses. So he says, because of you, O Lord, you blessed me with the secret of secrets. In which chapter? 9th chapter. 9th chapter, secret of secrets you blessed me with, and then which is in the form of self-knowledge, and then because of that, moho vigatam mama mohaha vigatam ayam mohaha vigataha. So what happened to my delusion? My delusion was nicely and neatly destroyed. Because of that, it has gone. Why? Because I have known that you are the beginning and the end of this Jagat as we know it. From you only the Jagat has come, and from you only the Jagat is sustained. By you only Jagat is sustained. Unto you only the Jagat resolves. We know this much. And then he says, but, there's always a but. Yeah, but please, now after this, I want to know what this, you said all forms are your form. Now wouldn't it be wonderful to see all forms at once? I want to see all forms at once. Can't you please oblige? You must show me your form. And if you think it is possible for me, manyase yadi, fourth verse, if you think it is possible for me, hey Bhagavan, to see this form of all forms. See, formless you I cannot see. Why? Because it is but me. You have told me that the formless you is not something I can see, because indeed it is the truth of me. But you said all forms are your forms, where in chapter 10 you showed us that. And so now what I want to see, now you showed me all forms are your forms, but how did you show me in chapter 10? One by one, kramena. So first you said, I am the Vasus, I am the Rudras, I am this one, I am that one. So one by one you showed me kramena. See, kramena means sequentially. Sequentially seeing is not the same thing as immediate all-round vision. So he says that I want to see So I know the formless is me, which is the truth of you, but in formless, no taste, it's very bland. No rupa, no form, no taste, nothing to write in a blog about. I saw Bhagavan. Nice blog it will make. Nothing to relive. Yes, yesterday I saw Bhagavan. All these things should be there. So you who is everything, you showed me that you are, everything is non-separate from you. You showed me in chapter 10, but they created a little more ruchi to see everything as you all at once. First you showed me one by one. Now I want to see everything in you when? All at once. Yugapat. So, if you think I am capable, yadi manyase shakyam, if you think it's possible, if you think I am capable, and so please do this. And then, please do this. Lord Krishna need not oblige. After all, he is the teacher. So he would say, shut up, sharpen your arrow, put it in the bow, get up, fight. Duryodhana is advancing, Karna is advancing. I am tired of fending them off and indulging each and every question of yours. Just start fighting. He could have said that. But it shows the teacher's compassion here. And so Arjuna, in which verse? 6th verse, I think. Is the 6th verse? Yeah, in the 6th verse, he says, okay, let's do this. Because my form is, not just the one Vasu and one Rudra, all like this, which you saw last time in the 10th chapter. One Marut. Marut means, who is Marut? The Ashwins. How many Maruts? There are also many Maruts. I think there are 49 Maruts. 49? 49. Yeah, 49 Maruts are there. So, 49 Maruts. Maruts, how many Vasus? 8 Vasus, 11 Adityas, 11 Rudras, and 12 Adityas. All these things you showed me one by one. But now, Lord Krishna says, see them all at once, no problem. This is called the cosmic vision or the Vishwarupa Darshanam. And for Dvaita Matas, people who are, what are they called? Dualists, or whatever is meant by qualified dualists, Vishishtadvaitas. This is the most important chapter in the whole Bhagavad Gita. For us, this is the least important chapter. We are not impressed, and you will see why, by the end of this chapter, you will see why we are not impressed. Because this darshana, even though it is given as an anugraha by Krishna's grace, this darshana happens, and then there is no ease while the Vishwarupa darshana is going on, the cosmic darshan is going on. Arjuna is not happy. After it stops also, he is not happy. What happened as a result of Vishwarupa Darshana? The answer is nothing. Business as usual. Arjuna was as before. Vishwarupa Darshana, seeing the Lord in all forms, even though it is Vismayakhyam, it is said to be what? Awesome, causing awe. It may be awesome, but it is not something that is going. Darshan is not giving you knowledge of the self. Because the knowledge of the self is that the Atma is not available for darshan. That you have to understand. That is what you have to understand, to bridge the gap between oneself and this understanding of concept of Bhagavan. And so he says, okay, Pashya, you see, you want to see something? Yes. Pashya Adityan Vasun Rudran Ashvinau, 2 Ashwins, Marutaha Tatha. Then Bahuni Adrishta, in addition, Adrishta Purvani Pashyani Ashcharyani Bharata. Other very, very awesome forms which are going to stop you in your tracks. Various kinds of forms you have never even seen. Because you see, we are only thinking of this small little earth. We don't know what other lokas are there, and even in the galaxies, we don't know what other place has life forms. and what those aliens will look like. They will be thinking of us as aliens, we will be thinking of them also as what? Aliens. So we don't know what they will look like. Some may be short, some may be tall, some may look funny. And then as they say that as we evolve, the hair is going to become less and less. Yeah. So anybody who is bald is very evolved. Okay. So the apparently head hair, body hair is going to become less and less. Why? Because the hair was for protection from elements and all in those, caveman days, cave woman days, those kinds of days where the clothing and all was not known. So as we see, the already one is evolving to have less and less hair, and then when you see sci-fi movies, and the aliens and all, the concept of aliens, there is no hair on the head, there is no hair on the body. This is all based on this kind of a scientific, extrapolation about the future. So like this we may see some creature, we don't know. So Arjuna is getting a little introduction about what kind of Bhagavan, what kind of forms in Bhagavan he can expect to see. Now Bhagavan is a very good advertiser of his own form, so he says, you bahuni adrishta purvani, he is advertising. And then he says, you please see all these things. And then he says, here, right here in my body, Jagat Kritsnam Pashya, verse number 7, please see the whole universe, along with Sacharacharam, things that move and things that do not move, you see them. Mamadehe gudakesha yaccha anyad drashtum ichhasi, and anything else you want to see also you see in my body, no problem. But then he said there is a small problem. What? Your vision is what is called, what kind of vision do we have? 3D vision? 3D vision. But to see the cosmic form, this 3D vision is very flat. In fact, our vision is nothing. A common housefly has much more vision than we do. Why? Because that is what Bhagavan has given. So it has all-round vision. It's got so many receptors for vision. That's why if it is sitting there, you go like this to catch it, it will fly away. That is for its own survival, it's been given that vision. And so the Lord tells Arjuna, why Arjuna, even a housefly sees better than you. I have to give you some divya drishti. Divyam dadami te drishtihi. I have to give you a certain kind of a unique godly vision. And what is this godly vision? How to imagine that? Google glasses. Yeah. Yeah. Or what is that called? Virtual reality glasses. If you go to a virtual reality cafe, in some countries they have that. Even in India it may have come. I don't know. It is there? Yeah. It may have come. We have to check in the big metros. Don't look for it in Rishikesh, okay? It will not be there. So these virtual reality glasses, you just sit there and everything looks like it's coming at you. So you observe the person with the glasses and they will just be by themselves. They will be jerking and they will be screaming and they will be doing all kinds of things because they are seeing everything there which is like a movie, which is a 3D movie coming at them very close to their eyes. And so, like this, I'll give you a pair of glasses, I'll give you a certain kind of a temporary vision with which you can see all the forms. Otherwise, you have just a flat vision, it has only 3 dimensions. My form is what? Endless dimensions, infinite dimensions are my form. You can't see everything all at once, and then I will give you this vision. So the promise of the vision, etc., brings us to verse number 8. In verse number 9, we are suddenly reminded that there is an audience. Who is the audience? Sanjaya. And who else is the audience? Dhritarashtra. Very good. Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya are the audiences. So Sanjaya is there, the narrator, he also gets Vishwarupa Darshana, we forget that. He also gets the cosmic vision, and Dhritarashtra, who can't see even the biggest thing in the universe, he cannot see, he is totally blind, he also somehow gets Vishwarupa Darshana, and we are also going to get it. Because of that, so now we know that there is now, suddenly we are reminded that there is an audience. Sanjaya hasn't appeared from chapter 2 onwards, and then Sanjaya will again appear in chapter 18 to conclude it and to remind us that this is something we got as a result of him narrating. If he were not narrating, we would not have this. And so then Sanjaya says in verse 9, having said this, then all these, this magician called, the magician of magicians called Hari, Lord Krishna, started to show whom? Arjuna, his endless, all-inclusive and wondrous, all kinds of forms he started to show. And then verses number 10 till 14 is Sanjaya's, first Sanjaya talks about what the Vishwarupa is like for him. Because 10 to 14, because Sanjaya can't stop talking, he is gaping, open-mouthed, and he has to describe what he saw first, and then the same description we hear from Arjuna's mouth after Sanjaya speaks. Then Arjuna gives his idea of what it is like from 15 to 22, I think. Yeah, 15 to, we'll just take it up to 22 because there's a lot to unpack. Yeah, 15, from verse 15 onwards until he speaks, until Lord Krishna speaks again, which is 30 or 31 somewhere, Lord Krishna speaks again. So 15 to 30, 31, 15 to 30, Arjuna's view of the Vishwarupa, which is divided into kind of three portions. First portion of Arjuna's view is just like Sanjaya. He has awe, vismaya, he has wonder, ascharya, and then first he describes all the wondrous things, because the cosmic form includes the wondrous things and the not so wondrous things also, correct? Yeah, Bhagavan is not all just delightful. That which is undelightful is also what? Bhagavan. And let us take a quick little jump back to chapter 4, where he declares himself, not Arjuna, Lord Krishna declares himself as the Avatara, as Paritrana, whose purpose is Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya cha Dushkritam, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. I will incarnate myself periodically in every yuga as many times is necessary to protect the right doers and to give instant moksha to the wrongdoers. Because if the wrongdoers are, either they have to correct themselves or they have to be taken out. Otherwise the sadhus will not, sadhu means anybody who is a person who is following dharma, that's a sadhu. The sadhus will not be able to live in peace. And so I will keep on doing this. And so one of the distasteful functions of the Lord is what? Is giving justice, meting out justice to these useless fellows. Duryodhana, who else? Dushasana, all these fellows. And Shakuni, all these people need a kind of a reality check. Because they need a check, and then they have been given many, many warnings. They don't correct themselves, and so it befalls upon the Lord to correct their ways and to rid the earth of, what should I say, adharmic elements. When dharma becomes light, And if these are the scales, dharma is on the lighter side and adharma and adharmic people are on the heavier side, that balance has to be done in the universe. That is how I have incarnated myself this time, he said in chapter 4. This is worth keeping in the back of the mind as we will see the Vishwarupa. So, first Sanjaya speaks till verse 15, and what does he say? He too is in awe. He says, so many arms, aneka bahu, aneka vaktra, so many faces, aneka adbhuta darshanam, unique things I am seeing, aneka divya bharanam, and you are having so many celestial ornaments and celestial weapons, countless and extraordinary weapons, and those weapons are in what state? Udyatakaram, raised weapons, ready to deploy. So first you see all the, ornaments and everything, and then, there are also what? Weapons. There are all kinds of weapons also, a reminder of the various functions of Bhagavan here in terms of meting out justice, everything. And then in the next verse, Sanjaya says that, when I start to look at this form, what do I see? I see your chakra, I see the gada, the bow, and I see the Sudarshana chakra, the wheel, and then the wheel of justice I see, and then I see your face with a crown on it, but then you are so bright. The luster coming from your body is so bright that the rest of you looks like a big heap of light. I don't see anything else. I see this big heap of light, and then what is that? I see that you have no end, no middle, no beginning. And then how is this? This is this is like a what is that? Your body is a canvas for which is hosting all kinds of celestial beings, including what? Lord Brahmaji, the creator. Kamalasanastham Brahmanam Pashye. That's a little bit behind. That's in verse number. What is there? Oh no, that will come later. That will come later. Yeah. So here he says that I see all kinds of wondrous things, and I see that you are anointed in celestial lepa of chandan, celestial sandalwood, and then Sarvashcharyamayam Devam Anantam Vishwato Mukham. Everywhere is your face, everywhere is your body. What is this experience like? This experience is like if supposing 1,000 suns were to rise at the same time. What would that be like? Can you even imagine the brightness? It would be intolerable, but because the special eyes have been given to Arjuna and by extension to Sanjaya as well, so therefore he is also able to see this, and he says Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavet Yugapad Utthitaha Yadi Bha Sadrishi Sa Syat Bhasastasya Mahatmanah. So your luster is like 1,000 suns rising at one time. Even one sun nowadays is getting a little difficult to tolerate. It pricks, it is sharp, and it is saying, yes, summer is coming. And so it is saying that, and so imagine 1,000 suns taking taking to the sky at the same time. That effulgence alone is you. You are in the form of that effulgence, which is like 1,000 suns all over the place. And then what? Then what happens? The Pandavas tata. So in the body of the Lord, the Arjuna saw the whole world, everything in a manifold way. And then he was overwhelmed. What did he get? He got horripilations, verse number 14. Horripilations means hair standing on end. because he was overwhelmed. Vismaya Vishtaha, 14th verse, Vismaya Vishtaha. Vismaya Vishtaha means completely overwhelmed by awe. Overwhelmed by awe. Vismaya Vishtaha, Hrishtaromaha Dhananjayaha. Hrishtaromaha means the hair is standing on the end. He cannot help himself. He is trembling out of anticipation. His hair is standing on end because it is just like watching a thriller. And then, he what does he do? He pranamya shirasa devam. He cannot help but bow down to this form of all forms. And then kritanjalihi abhashat. So he folds his hands, joins his hands together, and in with his head bowed down, with the hands joined, he says. Now we'll chant these verses to find out what he says. All of them, I think, are in Trishthuk meter. Whenever the Bhagavan's form comes, it's in Trishthuk meter. Arjuna uvacha Pashyami devanstava devadehe Sarvamstatha bhuta vishesha sanghan Brahmanamisham kamalasanastham Rishimscha sarvan anuragamscha divyan Aneka bahudara vaktra netram Pashyami tvam sarvato nantarupam Nantanna madhyam na punastavadim Pashyami vishveshvara vishvarupa Kiritinangadinam chakrinancha Tejo rashim sarvato deeptimantam Pashyami tvam durnirikshyam samantat Deeptanalarka Dyutimat prameyam Tvamaksharam paramam veditavyam Tvamasya vishvasya parannidhanam Tvamavyayas shashvata dharma gopta Sanatanastvam purusho mato me Anadimadhyantam Anantaviryam Anantabahum shashi surya netram Pashyami tvam Deeptahutasha vaktram Swatejasa vishwamidam tapantam Dyava prithivyoridhamantaram hi Vyaptam tvayakena dishascha sarvaha Drishtvaadbhutam rupamugram tavedam Lokatrayam pravyathitam mahatman Amihitvam surasangha vishanti केचिद् भीताः प्राञ्जलयो गृह्णन्ति स्वस्तीत्युक्त्वा महर्षि सिद्धसङ्घाः स्तुवन्ति त्वां स्तुतिभिः पुष्कलाभिः रुद्रादित्या वसवो ये च साध्याः रुद्रादित्या वसवो ये च साध्याः विश्वेश्विनौ मरुतश्चोष्मपाश्च गन्धर्वयक्षासुरसिद्धसङ्घाः वीक्षन्ते त्वां विस्मिताश्चैव सर्वे Yeah. So, we'll take it up till here and see what he says. So, in the beginning, he just lists what all he sees. He says, so many hands, oh my God. Aneka bahu, so many hands. Hands that are long, hands that are short, hands that are big, hands that are small, all kinds of hands. Hands of children, hands of youth, hands of elderly people, all the hands are your hands. Aneka bahu. And then Aneka udaraha. Udara means what? Stomach. So 6-pack, abs. Yeah, meaning the person who goes to the gym every 10 minutes. That's also included in your form. Rippling with muscles, not even an ounce of fat. Who is that? You. And then on the other side of the continuum is the fellow who lets everything hang out. Okay? And has a lot in common with the pot. Both have pot bellies. Okay? And then, so that one is also what? Your form. It's not the person, it's you. So all the bellies are you, all the hands are you, and all the faces, the frowning faces, the smiling faces, the faces that show no expression, the angry faces, and the faces that are what? Glazed and checked out. All the faces are what? You. The faces with the nose in the wrong place, according to us, okay? Not according to Bhagavad. The faces with the eyes in the wrong place. The faces with the mouth in the wrong place. So many things happen. Like sometimes children, as soon as they are born, they need surgery. There is some condition called cleft mouth, cleft lip. So sometimes there is that skin has not formed and they have to cut it and make a surgery. And so like this, all the faces, even the ones that need surgery upon birth, because something is not formed or something is in the wrong place, and the fact that it can be righted is also what? You alone. You alone is it's all your form alone. Aneka vaktra, aneka netram, all kinds of eyes. And all kinds of eyes are you. This is very important. So, eyes that see 20/20 vision, you. Eyes that have myopia. Why is it called myopia? Because it belongs only to me. That's why. So it's mine. That's why. So myopia, short-sightedness, meaning you can only see things nearby and not far away. Long-sightedness, and then you see things far away but not nearby. And then sometimes it is both, and sometimes there is some condition. One eye is different than the other eye. There is a condition called astigmatism, and then where that concave, the lens does not show it properly, so it has kind of a flattened vision. And then there are all kinds of ocular disturbances possible, like what? Like retinal detachment, glaucoma, macular degeneration. So many things are there. all that is what? This is all I see in you. I see all the eyes possible, and each eye has a uniqueness. Each eye will have its own propensity, and this is just human eyes. Then the other eyes of the cow, the cat, the dog, all these things, they have so much capacity and so different. And sometimes the cat's vision is much better than ours in the dark. In the dark it sees much better. And so all this is you. And then what is that? He gets tired and he says Ananta Rupam. So forget Bahu, Udara, Netra, these are the things I could register, but in fact your Rupa is without end. Why? Because it has no Anta, no Madhya, no Adi. No Anta, no Adi. No end, no beginning. Once you, it's like that, what is that? It's like a snake crossing the road. Once I had that experience. Was going somewhere for a walk, and then there was a snake in Australia, and so the snake was the same color as the fall foliage. It had little bit of red, little bit of brown, little bit of all kinds of things. A nice fat snake. What is it called? I don't know. What is it? Python? Okay. So python, and then first I was going to cross. Then I said, oh, the foliage is moving. That means what? There is something there. And if you see a snake, who has the right of way? Snake. So I was in a group with people and we watched it going, and it's just going. No beginning. I never saw the mouth of the snake, and I never saw the tail. And because by the time the tail went, the foliage was back. It was the same color as the foliage, but it's just going. It's like in India being stuck in a railway crossing, and some of those goods trains come, they're going, you don't know, na antam, na adim, like this. So Arjuna is seeing only the middle of Bhagavan, because there is no beginning, there is no end, and everything is just one present middle. And then he concludes, even this middle is not middle, because it is this unending expression of yours which is all over the place. This unending expression of yours is there. And so and then Pashyami Vishveshvara Vishvarupam, finally I am seeing your complete form. And then the good news continues, and he says, okay, I see you as a I'm sorry, because the page flipped when I was not looking, and so I thought this is what Sanjaya said, but Arjuna says this, Kiritinam means what? The one who has a kirita, the one who has a crown. Kiritinam, Chakrinam, Gadinam, all these things. I'm seeing you with all the accoutrements. With various accoutrements, I'm seeing you. And then I see the accoutrements, but when I try to look at your face, what happens? It turns into a big heap of light. Again, reiterating the fact that Bhagavan is not an object of your observation. Bhagavan is not an object, cannot be an object. It's not an object for your observation at all. And so therefore what? Therefore, the more you try to objectify Bhagavan, the more elusive it's going to be for the sense organs. And even though he has divine drishti, celestial drishti given to him as a boon from Lord Krishna, even that is barely capable of registering all the forms as Lord's form. As they say, be careful what you wish for. Why? Why should you be careful what you wish for? Because you may get it. If you didn't get it, it's a different thing, but you may get it. So here Arjuna wishes and he gets it, and soon he will start to regret what he asked for. So, but right now he is in a trance, and he says, Tvam Pashyami, I see you. Who are you? Durnirikshyam Samantat Pashyami. I see the whole of you. Even though it's difficult to see you from every angle, I see the whole of you. Why? Who is this you? Who is not knowable as an object. Durnirikshyam. Who is unknowable, who cannot be seen as an object. I see you, Samantat. And then asamantat pashyami, I see the whole of you, but I can't really register it because you who are not an object, I am trying to objectify. And who are you? Deepta anala arka dyutimat aprameyam. Dyutim aprameyam. Aprameyam, again he reiterates. Durnirikshyam and aprameyam are kind of, what are they? They are adjectival to one another. Both of them are adjectives to Bhagavan, and both of them are mean the same things. They are kind of synonymous. Durnirikshyam means difficult to see. Why? Because it is you. Aprameyam cannot be known as an object. Prameya, the object of sight. Object of the pramanas is prameya, and here you are aprameya, and you are difficult to objectify, difficult to see from every angle. Even though you have given me this supposedly celestial vision, I just see mostly flashes of light. I don't see you. I see a flash of light, then I see a crown, then I see a chakra, then I just again see flashes of lights, conflagration of lights. Who is like the blazing sun, like a fireball. So Deeptanalarka Dyutimat. Dyutimat means Dyutim Aprameyam. So like the light of the sun that is not objectifiable, cannot be, you cannot even stare at the sun for a second without coming to grief, without affecting the eyesight. And so this way I cannot know all of you, but I am seeing you, he says. Then he says, who are you? I understand you are Akshara, the imperishable one. We have been looking at Akshara, which is what? Consciousness, which is not an object, which is you. So, Tvam Aksharam Paramam Veditavyam. You are the most important thing to be known. Everything else is not as important as you. Why? Because there is a big difference between Satyam and Mithya. The whole Jagat is what? Mithya. Brahma Satyam, Bhagavan is Satyam, and then that Brahman alone is to be known. Tvam Veditavyam. Paramam Veditavyam, you are the most important thing to know. Everything else is because of you. And then Tvam asya vishwasya param nidhanam. Nidhanam means you are the ultimate cause of this world. You are the ultimate cause of this world. What kind of cause? Nimitta karana, you are. Upadana karana also, you are. Nimitta karana, the intelligence, and then nimitta, upadana karana, the raw material. The raw material and the intelligence come together to make this Jagat. So just like how the pot is made. When the pot is crafted, so what do we have here? We have the raw material in the form of clay, but the shape and the size and everything. So somebody thought of this and made a small pot. What is this of use for? To carry this much water, who will want? But they thought, in Rishikesh, there are lots of Vedanta ashrams. They can use it as a teaching pot. Yeah, because teaching pot means you can't make it like this, okay? Now, by the time the teacher takes it out and, strengthens the arm muscles and shows it, the moment would have passed. So, therefore, the teaching pot must be small and cute, tiny, for no other purpose. Yeah, there, it almost became a crackpot. Okay, so the teaching pot is of no use for any other purpose than for this tiny, than to be tiny. Therefore, it has to be tiny. And then we can make it to do fun things. It can say, you almost gave me a heart attack there. Yeah, because the teaching pot is what? It still has a human mind, let us say. It will be very afraid. You gave me a heart attack, you dropped me, and now you haven't learnt from this incident. You are still holding me with 2 fingers. Hold me properly. It can say. See, you can make the pot do a lot of things. You can make the pot, one pot have conversation with another pot too. And so like this, so there is a purpose. There is a kind of a reason why this was made, and everything likewise in the Jagat has a place. Arjuna sees that. Arjuna sees that all the forms have a place. And then, because you are the, what is that? You are the material. Like the clay is the material for the pot, but somebody was intelligent enough to think that these small pots will sell. Just stand with these small pots in front of the ashram, a basket of small pots in any Vedanta ashram, and then people will pick up a few. Yeah, because whoever is teaching, whoever has studied Chandogya Upanishad knows this. Pot clay example is as old as the Upanishads, so they will pick up a few. So that intelligence combined with this raw material, what does it do? It has brought forth this pot. It has brought forth this particular pot to be able to have a particular purpose. So, Tvam Asya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam, you are the ultimate cause for this universe, which includes what? The intelligence and the raw material. See, the difference between the potter and Ishvara is what? The potter has to go somewhere else to get the raw material. The raw material is always other than her or himself. Where will Bhagavan go to get the material? Where will Bhagavan go to borrow? There is nothing other than Bhagavan. So Bhagavan has to be the raw material and has to be the intelligence, the maker as well, just like we saw in the Mundaka Upanishad, the spider example. What happens in the spider example? Same thing. The spider is the intelligence and the raw material itself. It produces, it throws out the web and retracts the web. Not after it is fully thrown out, but when it is hanging by a thread. And if you go like this, it will also go up. If you try to catch it, it will go up, eating up its own string that it produces. That much is the example. So Arjuna knows all this now. Vishwasya param nidhanam. Tvam avyayaha. You are the unchanging one. You're not subject to decline. Look at you. Every form is what you are. Tvam shashvata dharma gopta. You are always. Shashvata, here we have to take it carefully. Shashvata means always, but here, as long as the Jagat is in place, we have to take. Perennially, or as long as the Jagat is in place, so it's some kind of a apekshika nityatvam. The Jagat has apekshika nityatvam, meaning in each cycle it comes and we say it is nitya because the Jagat is not going away tomorrow, thank God. So the Jagat is still here. It may go sometime, but it's not going away tomorrow, we tell ourselves, and then it has apekshika nityatvam. So here it means until the Jagat is there, you are shashvata dharma gopta. What is your purpose? Your purpose is to protect dharma from gup, to protect. Then it takes guna because of the suffix trich suffix er. So protect, protector. You are the protector of what? Dharma. When? Not only just when adharma rises, even when adharma rises, you are the protector, but when dharma is there, you are in the form of dharma. You are the protector of dharma. How? In the form of those who follow dharma. That also you are. Tvam shashvata dharma gopta. And then sanatanastvam. You are sanatanam purusha. Complete person is purusha. Meaning, that which completes everything else, that is Purusha. Sanatana means always there, unchanging. I see the Swarupa Lakshana, even though what did he ask for? In Vishwarupa Darshana, he asked for Swarupa Lakshana, to see the Swarupa Lakshana or the Tatastha Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana he asked for, because Tatastha Lakshana of the Jagat only can be seen. Swarupa Lakshana of Brahman cannot be seen. Even of the Jagat it's the same. Satchidananda cannot be seen. What does he ask for? He asked for Tatastha Lakshana Darshana. And then when he sees all the names and forms, he immediately can appreciate the Swarupa Lakshana as well, even though he doesn't see it. He says Pashyami. Pashyami means doesn't see. Pashyami means Janami. I appreciate, I understand, I reckon that in and through these changes, you are the changeless being. You are the all-knowing, changeless being in the form of Satchidatma. Then Ananta Madhyantam Ananta Viryam. So, Anadi Madhyantam Ananta Viryam. And then you are what? You are one without any beginning, no middle, no end, and what? Limitless power. Ananta Viryam, limitless power. Limitless power you have, and then what? Because limitless power, and then what are your Ananta Bahum, endless arms, we saw that, and then what are your eyes? Sun and moon are your eyes. This is exactly what we will see tomorrow in the Mundakopanishad. That's what we will see. And then where the Agnir Murdha Divas Surya Chandrau Agnir Murdha. So the Agni is your head, Surya Chandrau. And then Vag Vivritaha. And then what is that? Sarve Vedaha. And then Vayuf Pranaha. All this we'll see tomorrow. The whole form is whose form? The whole universe is just your cosmic form. And in the same way, so Disha Shrotre, so all these we'll see tomorrow. So in the same way he says that every form is your form. Ananta Viryam. And then you are the one with endless power. The power to create, the power to sustain, the power to destroy. This is Virya, one of the bhagas of the 6 bhagas of Bhagavan. What are the other 5? Aishwarya, overlordship. Anantam, yashas, all fame. And then what else? Then Ananta, Shrihi, all abundance. Anantam, Vairagyam, complete dispassion. Anantam, Jnanam, endless knowledge. So these are the and Anantam Viryam, endless capacity. So in talking about one, when he talks about one, we have to bring in the other 5 as well and say he is giving a nod to Bhagavan in literally understanding the meaning of the word Bhaga and saying Ananta Viryam. So the Virya, if the capacity is endless, so are all the other 5 things. So and then Pashyamitvam Deepta Hutasha Vaktra Netram Swatejasa Vishwamidam Tapantam. So up till here it's very good, but then verse 19 it starts to get a little bit heated up, the whole thing. Arjuna is on the brink of fear. That will come. He'll get afraid when? Tomorrow. Okay. So right now he is on the brink of fear. And why is he on the brink of fear? Because what he sees next is a little bit unusual, let us say. What does he see next? He says, Deepta Hutasha Vaktra Netram. Deepta Hutasha Vaktram. And so Vaktram, the face, is a ball of fire emanating as though from the Lord's mouth. First he thinks the whole face is on fire, but then upon looking closely after his eyes are adjusted to this bright light, he sees that the ball of fire is actually the Lord's mouth. Not only that, he's going to tell us later, it is like a vacuum. It has a suction power. It has a suction power. Not fun, okay? So it's like a large pit with fire in it, volcano, let's say. Volcano is like a mountain, but doesn't matter. If you're on top of the neighboring mountain, it looks like a pit. Let's say you climb to a higher place and you see it's a pit which is festering with fire and all kinds of things. Lava, all these things are there. Ash, lava, fire is there. And then what? You go near it and it has a pull. Terrible. So he says, I see that you have a fiery vacuum for your mouth. For your mouth, what do you have? A fiery vacuum which Swatejasa, with its own heat, heats up the entire universe. So that fiery vacuum is so powerful that it can be the only source of light for what? For the whole Jagat. Lord's mouth, which is on fire, with the vacuuming effect we'll see later, is as bright as the source of light for the entire universe. We don't need many suns, we don't need many moons. We just have, of course, in our solar system we have sun, but then outside of the galaxy there is also one more sun, Betelgeuse, its name is. In front of Betelgeuse, our sun is like a pinhead, the head of a pin, small, tiny. They will draw it according to the scale of what they know. So they will draw it so that we lay people who don't understand astronomy at all, how we can understand. So Betelgeuse will be this big and the sun will be like a tiny little ball, the head of a pin. So like this Betelgeuse is located in the next galaxy over. What is its name? Andromeda. So Betelgeuse, I think, is in Andromeda. And so like this, you don't need Betelgeuse, you don't need sun, you don't need anything else. What you need is just the Lord's mouth, and then that's enough to light up the whole universe. Dyava prithivyo ridam antaram hi vyaptam tvaya ekena dishascha sarvaha drishtva adbhutam rupamugram tavedam lokatrayam pravyathitam mahatman. So he says that now, up till now was good news, all the good things he saw in the Vishvarupa. Vishvarupa cannot be composed only of good things, otherwise it would not be the cosmic form. It has to include all the forms. And so now the not so nice things are coming. And so first he says, you have this fiery mouth, and then the space, Dyav and Prithvi, the space between heaven and earth, and all the quarters are what? Dishascha sarvaha are taken up by you alone. Your form alone takes up everything. There is nothing else other than you. And then what? It's such a form, Hey Mahatman, oh great one, when the people are confronted with this form, what will they do? They will tremble. Why? If they haven't followed dharma, they will tremble. Even if they have followed dharma, also they will tremble. Why? Because they do not know Vedanta. They will tremble. What about our Arjuna? He also hears a knocking sound. And he says, where? Who is knocking? It's his own knees that are knocking together. That will come later. But then he says, Amihitva surasanghaha vishanti. So all the hosts of people who are celestials and people who have followed dharma, I feel like they are all entering into you effortlessly. And then even they are not free of fear. They are also frightened. And they are also praying fervently with all the mantras they know. All the shlokas they know are coming out. Oh, help me, help me. First, Shiva Panchakshari. Okay, and then what? Artatrana Shloka, Shiva Panchakshari Shloka, Dayananda Panchakam. Everything is coming. Shiva Ashtotra, this Ashtotra, that Ashtotra, all of them are coming at once. And then Kechit Bhitaha Pranjalayo Grinanti. Their hands are as though velcroed together because they are all going like this. They cannot separate their hands. They are in a prayerful position because they are either in awe or they are little bit afraid. Stuvante Pushkalabhihi stutibihi. Pushkala means too many. So by a plenitude of praises and praise songs, they are keeping on heaping the praises on you. As they become one with you, we do that. And then he says, and all these Rudras and Rudradityaha, Adityas, and Vasavaha, we have seen all these things, various deities, Sadhyaha, another group of beings, deities, Vishve, Ashvinau. Ashvinau means Vishve means Vishve Devas. Vishve Devas, another are there, 2 Ashwins, and then Marutas, and then the Maruts, and the Ushmapahas. Ushmapahas means all the devatas who fill themselves by taking in the steam. Ushma is steam. So Ushmapahas, so these Ushmapahas, what do? Gandharvas and the lower rung celestials, Gandharvas, Yakshas, and then Siddhas, all these people, they are all looking at you with disbelief. They cannot think of anything else. They are just looking at you, mesmerized and paralyzed. They are completely with you. And so we'll see how this Vishwarupa tomorrow deteriorates into Arjuna having a meltdown, a fearful meltdown, and retracting his wish. I don't want you anymore. I don't like you anymore. It's like if the parents put a scary mask on, what will the child do? I want my mommy back. Where did you go? I want daddy. Where are you? So like this, Arjuna cries and says, I want the one with the flute, playing nice melodies. Where is the one with the nice peacock feather? And where is the one wearing yellow dhoti? Kunja Vihari, Pitambara Dhari. And so where are you? That is the form I want. And what does Bhagavan do? Here, you ask for this. This is how I'll be the rest of the chapters. Does he say that? No. He says, happy to oblige, and in his mind he must be thinking, okay, you learnt your lesson now. I think this is the last time you will ask for Vishwarupa. Okay, back to business as usual. And then the verse also changes from Trishtup to Anushtup later on, back to business as usual. More we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.